Hello, this is Jan Cosgrove, and this is another edition of Bognor Herald News View. Now, in this edition, I'm going to deal with a rather difficult and local subject, something that has been brought to my attention by a friend. It's happened in this town recently, and it's a very controversial issue. The subject of vigilante paedophile hunters. Yes, it's not an easy one, and I'm sure there's a lot of public feeling out there that what these guys do, and there are 170 such groups around the country or so, what they do is for the public good. That is something I'm going to put under the microscope. Now, in this particular occasion, the young man who was caught out locally is 21. I'm not going to refer to anything more about it other than it is on Facebook. I'm not going to give any links to this, and you'll see why. Paedophile hunter. This is where a group of people target those who seek to have wrongful contact with underage children. Very worthy. I'm not sure what the police will think about this, because there are issues around it which make it problematical, let's say the least. In this case, from what I've seen of the video that was put up on Facebook, the young man, and in the words of the person who brought it to my attention, clearly has learning difficulties. Now, that doesn't excuse anyone. People are supposed to, in the main, know right from wrong. But my problem with this is, however worthy the intentions, there are trappings to this that make me feel very uncomfortable. Firstly, some of these groups are taking donations. Now, I'm not quite sure why that would be, but that's apparently what happens. What is their need for donation? I'm not sure. Now, what they do, as you know, is they put a false persona, someone alleging to be a young person, up on some form of social media, and that person is there to be targeted by the likes of this young man, whose intentions are not at all honourable or legal. So the person is made contact, the young man makes contact with that supposed young lady, who's under 18, underage. Now, what then happens is that after they've taken some sort of evidence in terms of conversation, they turn up on the young man's doorstep, which happened to be a house in Bognor in this case. And as the boy's or young man's mother said, and he's probably about 21, this isn't the first time. Okay, so you've got a bit of a picture emerging. Someone whom we might say in popular parlance in the old days is not the full shilling, and is doing things which are illegal. Let me ask a question first then. Supposing you tell someone that a door is open and they can easily steal some things from a house. You tell them that. And that person goes to the house and with an attempt to steal. Are you not actually encouraging that young person to commit a crime? That's a major legal issue. It's called entrapment, and I'm uncomfortable with that. Because the last thing I want to do is to try to encourage someone who's already got a record or has been caught before, whether prosecuted or not, I don't know, to do it again. That seems to me to be very, very, very questionable. Look, the issue of paedophiles is a major one in our society. There are less of them than we think, but they cause significant and huge harm, lasting harm. So any deterrent, but this isn't a deterrent, is it? It's encouraging people to do it again, or to do it for the first time. You look, there's a door open. There's good things in the house. So you see my point. Are the police happy with this? Well, not at all. And ignore the courts. Let me give you one reason. Every case like this has to have a jury sworn in. That jury has to be composed of people who are not aware of the story. Yet if it's been out there on social media, that's going to reduce the number of people who can be sort of relied upon not to have seen it. So in some ways, this worthy aim may well be getting in the way of the police's work. So I'm not sure what you think about this. I'd be interested to see, we've got a Facebook site called Bognor Regis Herald. I'd be interested to hear what you feel about it. It is a very thorny subject. There's another reason I'm not happy either. Now, apart from the tactics that are used, sometimes using things like we're making a citizen's arrest and physically restraining someone, which has happened elsewhere, then there's the issue of what happens at that house, which is not just where the young person lives, but where his mother and maybe a family live. Bricks through the window, graffiti daubed. All these things are possible because, in a sense, the paedophile hunters, the vigilantes, can be seen to be encouraging it, identifying it. As I say, not an easy issue. I've fought for years for child protection issues through Fair Play for Children and advanced work that we did years ago before other people got to it. So I'm one of the first to say, look, this is totally unacceptable behaviour by any person towards a young person, towards a child. But also, justice is not to be bought lightly. We need some standards here. And in this case, okay, what we saw looked reasonable, but you know, I'm sorry, I just feel uncomfortable. Much as I want to see paedophiles stop from what they're doing, this actually, in some sense, is saying to someone, go on, there's a victim there, go and find them. Well, that's it for this week. I hope you find it interesting, maybe a little challenging. I do. So until next time, bye.